Well, James Waddell is head of European gas at the analyst's Energy Aspects. I asked him why the Nordstream gas pipeline project from Russia to Europe was so significant.
Europe is very dependent on Russian gas per se. Russian gas accounts for about 30 to 40% of all of Europe's supply. And it supplies that gas through a bunch of different routes. So you've got pipelines going into Finland, into the Baltics, the already existing Nord Stream 1. You've also got the route through Poland, through Ukraine, and the Turk Stream route. So there are lots of options. Now, what really matters is how much gas Russia is supplying. And what we've been seeing over the course of the last year is Gazprom is meeting its contractual obligations, but not selling any extra gas on a discretionary basis, which it used to do. Now, a lot of people hope that Nord Stream 2 would then trigger Gazprom into selling more discretionary gas, and therefore people are hoping on this pipeline to alleviate Europe's short-term gas crunch and energy crisis. So there's lots of hopes on this pipeline, but realistically, we don't think this is actually going to deliver any incremental gas above what's already being delivered to Europe.
And where could Europe's gas supply come from if Russia cuts supplies?
Europe doesn't have many options for increasing supply from sources nearby. You're looking at Norway, which already is producing nearby maximum volumes and sending those to Europe. You look at North Africa with Algerian supply potentially able to ramp up a little bit, but certainly not enough to offset a major halt in Russian supply. The next channel you look to is diverting LNG cargoes or liquefied natural gas cargoes and bringing those into Europe in preference to taking those to Asia. And the trouble is that a lot of that supply is already locked into long-term contracts with destination clauses in those contracts, meaning they have to go from places like Qatar to Northeast Asia. So managing to divert that LNG supply to Europe is very, very difficult. And it looks like a major challenge if we try to offset a major Russian supply halt.
And to what extent do you think are geopolitics and energy intertwined here?
Well, energy and politics are always very closely related, but I think what can be overdone in the media is the extent to which energy can be used as a weapon. Most often, these are very long-standing energy relationships. And if we think about Russia and how long it's been supplying bits of Europe, I mean, it goes on from the 1960s onwards, even during the Soviet Union. So there's a big codependence of Russia exporting gas to Europe and Europe needing that gas. Without that Russian supply, we'd be very short and be struggling to have a market without insanely high prices. And on Gazprom's side, it's a major source of revenue. It relies on Europe for most of its sales, and that's very significant for the Russian state. So this is a partnership that neither is particularly keen to sabotage.